And then he looked up and he saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw a poor widow who put in 2 copper coins. And he said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all of them. For they all contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, put in all the living that she had." Now, it's easy to give out of our abundance. It's easy to give out of that which is working in our life. It's easy for us to do that. And it's joyous. There's nothing, I mean, that's a good thing to give out of our abundance. But what is challenging is for us to give out of our lack. And it might be kind of a contrary to unity teaching sort of mental idea. A lot of times people say, well, that's not very unity to think about giving out of our lack, because if we give out of our lack, then we're giving to lack. But that's not true, because we are giving out of an intention that we bring something good into our life. And so we give, that's what we're talking about when we give what it is that we need. We give out of our lack because it attunes our consciousness to the very experience of giving. It puts something forth into the universe that an intention, a positive, powerful intention of abundance that will come back to us. Because the universe is a circle. Everything comes back to us at some point in our experience if we live long enough, and probably even beyond that into whatever other life experience that we have, because we create these circles in our life. And when we understand that principle, it tempers our thoughts and actions and deeds and experiences enormously. Because we want to receive the good. We want to show up in that way in our life experience. So think about what it is that you desire in your life. Put your thoughts on that, and then shift it to what it is that you can give out of that. So if you desire money, then give money. That doesn't have to mean you give all of your money, but give money enough to tune that desire up. So it starts the process, or primes the pump, or starts the flow. If you feel unappreciated, then go home and write 50 notes to people that you know, notes of appreciation, and tell them how much you appreciate them. And don't tell me that you won't receive back a ton of blessings from that experience. Not just in that moment, but sometime down the road, someone will come up to you and say, "You remember that note that you wrote me? You know, I never had a chance to thank you for." And they'll have tears in their eyes because they need to be appreciated as well. We all need that sense of appreciation. And it really is that simple. You know, and sometimes it's hard for us, but I want to tell you, you may have trouble writing that first note, but by the time you get to that 50th one, you'll feel such a sense of appreciation in your consciousness that that 5th one will just flow. Or that 50th one will just flow. If you want a relationship in your life, then we know that, what do we know about relationships? We know that the best relationships that we have, the best love relationships that we have, begin as a friendship. The best love relationships that we have in our life begin with a sense of connection as friends. So if you want a primary relationship in your life, then what you give is friendship to people. You give that sense, you become the best friend that you can be to all those people you meet. And I want to guarantee you that somebody's going to show up in your life that wants to reciprocate that, and you're going to fall in love. Because you can't help it. It's just the way in which the universe works. So if you want love, then you need to be loving. You need to give love. You need to give attention. You need to give all those kinds of things into the world. If you want adventure in your life, then you need to give adventure. I know I was talking with Sherry Schultz, and you know, she was feeling unadventurous, and she had an opportunity to go on a hike with Marilyn, 2 hikes.
Last week in this.
Okay. Well, another one. I didn't hear about that one. So with Marilyn, and create a sense of adventure. She had a great time. And yeah, I could tell the difference in her experience, having gone on the hike and brought that sense of adventure. It's putting it out there, that experience in our life. There was a movie a number of years ago called Pay It Forward. You probably remember that movie. And kind of the premise of that movie is that this kid in the movie figures out this theory or this idea, and so he does a good deed to someone, and then, of course, the person wants to thank him for that good deed. So his thing was, no, don't give me anything. What I want you to do is I want you to do a good deed for 3 other people. And then I want you to tell them to do a good deed for 3 other people. Well, somebody worked the math out on that. And so if one person does that and keeps that process moving, within 2 weeks, and I'm not sure what the multiplier is, but within 2 weeks, 4,782,969 good deeds will have been accomplished, and 4 million, over almost 5 million people will have been affected by that one good deed. Now, we all know the multiplier effect and the law of numbers, but you can imagine how many circles are being put out there of good deeds when that occurs. And so, if you're feeling less than and you want to give to something, go out and do a good deed for someone. All these kinds of things that we involve ourselves in are incredible experiences that we have in our life, and it's exactly what brings forth the Spirit of God within us. Because we can't help but feel the connection to Spirit when we do something good for another without expectation of reciprocation for ourselves. Because we know, without a doubt, that the universe is a circle. And it always comes back to us. That is the primary spiritual law upon which this universe has been built and created. I want to close today with my poem, which is called Giving What You Need the Most. How can I give what I don't have when I don't have what I need to give? Which certainly is a valid question when what we give is what we need to live. Does it not make sense that if I give it away, then whatever it is, I won't have it all? But sending it away for a greater good is like sending your daughter to the mall. It absolutely will come back to you with more than there was before, because sending it out with an open heart is a magnet that brings even more. Why does it all have to make no sense? Why do we need to go against the grain? I think the intention is pure and clear like the sky after a much-needed rain. We didn't come to create separation. Separation is the human condition. We came to affirm our oneness, which is the essence of the Great Commission. When we use our creative gifts and trust in the illogical divine plan, then we begin to see the real truth, expressing love to our fellow man. The greatest expression of love is to give what little you possess, knowing that your good has arrived the moment you let go of the stress. So perhaps it is all about trust, which is really what we are giving. And when we give it, the magic begins, and then we really start living. God bless you. Have a great week.